So we're doing the movie technique.
Yep.
And I've just explained all the movie technique to you, and we've talked about how you can do the silent movie technique and run it through in your mind, or the tell the story movie technique. So which one would you prefer to do?
I'll do the tell the story.
Okay. And you said that you had a memory already that you wanted to work on. Have you formulated a movie title for it?
Yeah.
What would you like to call it?
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker. And when you just say that, the Milk Tanker, where do you feel that in your body?
My heart.
And what's it out of 10?
I was trying to think of a number, and I couldn't think of a number, but it must be high because my heart's beating fast.
Okay. Even though my heart's beating fast,
Even though my heart's beating fast,
when I think about the movie Tanker, and there's emotion coming up already, I accept myself and everything I'm feeling. Even though when I think about the Milk Tanker, and my heart's beating really fast, there's emotion there that's really high, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though when I think about the movie The Milk Tanker,
even though when I think about the movie The Milk Tanker,
and my heart's beating really fast,
and my heart's beating really fast,
so it must be up there high,
it must be up there high,
I accept myself and all of this emotion,
I accept myself and all this emotion,
and I ask my body to help me to process and release it.
and I ask my body to help me process and release it.
All the way back to that movie,
All the way back to that movie.
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker.
My heart's beating really fast.
My heart's beating really fast.
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker.
All the emotion.
All the emotion.
It must be up there high.
Must be up there high.
My heart's beating really fast.
My heart's beating really fast.
When I think about the Milk Tanker.
When I think about the Milk Tanker.
The movie titled The Milk Tanker.
The movie titled The Milk Tanker.
My heart's beating really fast.
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 All the emotions.
All the emotion.
When I think about the movie title.
When I think about the movie title.
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker.
My heart beating fast.
My heart's beating fast.
All the emotion.
All the emotion.
It must be up there high.
Must be up there high.
All the emotion.
All the emotion.
My heart beating fast.
My heart's beating fast.
When I think about the movie, the Milk Tanker.
When I think about the movie The Milk Tanker.
Releasing it and letting it go.
Releasing it and letting it go.
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker.
So take a deep breath. So when you think of just the movie title, The Milk Tanker now, what are you feeling in your body? Heart not beating fast now.
Not as fast, no.
So what are you feeling? Where's the emotion in your body? What is it out of 10?
It's probably about an 8.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think the emotion is? Or if you can't say it, where is it in your body?
It's in my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Even though I've got all this emotion in my shoulders,
Even though I don't know why it's in my shoulders. Even though I've got all this emotion in my shoulders.
and I don't know why it's in my
I
shoulders.
don't know why it's in my shoulders.
When I think about the movie The Milk Tanker,
When I think about the movie The Milk Tanker,
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my shoulders
and my shoulders
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
Even though I've got this movie titled The Milk Tanker,
Even though I've got this movie titled The Milk Tanker,
and I feel it in my shoulders.
and I feel it in my shoulders.
I don't know why I feel it in my
I
shoulders.
don't know why I feel it in my shoulders.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
Even though I've got this movie titled
Even though I've got this movie titled
The Milk Tanker,
The Milk Tanker,
and I feel it in my shoulders,
and I feel it in my shoulders.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my shoulders
and my shoulders
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
The Milk Tanker,
The Milk Tanker.
I feel it in my shoulders.
I feel it in my shoulders.
I don't know why I
I
feel it
don't
in
know
my
why I
shoulders.
feel it in my shoulders.
All the emotion in my shoulders.
All this emotion in my shoulders.
I don't know why I feel it in my shoulders.
I don't know why I feel it in my shoulders.
The Milk Tanker,
The Milk Tanker.
the movie titled The Milk Tanker,
The movie titled The Milk Tanker.
the movie titled The Milk
The
Tanker.
movie titled The Milk Tanker.
I don't know why I feel it in my shoulders.
I don't know why I feel it in my shoulders.
Thanking my shoulders for holding on to it.
Thanking my shoulders for holding on to it.
All the emotion in the Milk Tanker,
All the emotion in the Milk Tanker.
the movie title,
The movie title.
processing and releasing.
Processing and releasing.
All the emotion in my shoulders.
All the emotion in my shoulders.
When I think about the movie title,
When I think about the movie title
The Milk Tanker,
The Milk Tanker.
the movie title,
The movie title
The Milk Tanker.
The Milk Tanker.
Deep breath. Okay, so let's
Yeah,
come
that's-
down.
Yeah, let's come right down.
What down to?
No, it's maybe 1.
Okay, so you're ready to start at a neutral place. So finding a neutral place just before we go into the movie The Milktank. Where are you? What's going on?
At school.
At school?
Yep.
How old are you?
5.
5?
Yep.
So you're at school, you're 5?
Yeah.
Is it summer, winter?
I didn't know until my cousin put a post up recently. I wouldn't have been able to tell you what time.
Okay, all right. So when you think about that 5-year-old at school,
Yeah.
you're happily at school.
Yep.
Everything's a neutral place.
Yep.
So start tapping and tell me what happens next.
The day ends.
The day ends.
Bell goes.
Bell goes. Then what happens?
We're all going home.
Yep. How do you normally go home?
I was being picked up that day.
Yeah.
So Mum was picking up the 4 of us.
Yep. So what happens next?
We'd go out to be picked up,
Mhm.
and then there's a bit of a hole in my memory.
Okay. So just thinking about that, when you go out to be picked up,
Yeah.
and there's a hole in your memory, what reaction are you having in your body just thinking about that?
I know I was there and I know I saw it, but I don't. I just remember from afterwards.
Okay. So if you imagine
Yeah.
what you saw, what would you imagine that you were seeing? Where do you feel it in your body? Chest. Even though I've got this imagined sensation
I can't breathe.
and I can't breathe, I accept myself and my body
Yeah.
deeply and completely. Even though I've got this imagination of what I might have seen
Even though I've got this imagination of what I might have seen
when I was 5,
when I was 5.
and I've got this I can't breathe feeling in my chest,
And I've got this I can't breathe feeling in my chest.
I accept myself
I accept myself.
and the way my chest is holding onto this,
And the way my chest is holding onto this.
and I want to process and release it.
And I'm going to process and release it.
Even though I couldn't remember,
Even though I couldn't remember.
but I imagine what I saw,
But I imagine what I saw.
and it's hard to breathe.
And it's hard to breathe.
I accept myself
I accept myself.
and my chest
My chest.
deeply and completely.
Deeply and completely.
I can imagine what I saw.
I can imagine what I saw.
It's hard to breathe.
It's hard to breathe.
I've got this black hole in my memory,
I've got this black hole in my memory.
but I can imagine what I saw,
But I can imagine what I saw.
and I can feel all of the emotion in my chest.
And I can feel all the emotion in my chest.
That hard to breathe feeling.
That hard to breathe feeling.
It's hard to breathe.
It's hard to breathe.
When I imagine what I saw,
When I imagine what I saw.
it's really hard to breathe.
It's really hard to breathe.
When I imagine what I saw,
When I imagine what I saw.
processing and releasing
Processing and releasing.
this hard to breathe feeling.
This hard to breathe feeling.
When I imagine what I saw.
When I imagine what I saw.
Let's just do the 9 gamma point. So when you imagine what you saw
Yeah.
in that moment, I want you to just keep that in mind, what you imagine what you saw.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, open your eyes, look hard down to the left, look hard down to the right. Circle your eyes slowly in one direction. Circle your eyes slowly in another direction. Happy birthday. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Happy birthday. What I imagine seeing.
What I imagine seeing.
I was only 5.
I was only 5.
Walking out of school.
Walking out of school.
Mum coming to pick us up.
Mum coming to pick us up.
What I imagine seeing.
What I imagine seeing.
This emotion in my chest.
This emotion in my chest.
Processing and releasing.
Processing and releasing.
That hard to breathe feeling.
That hard to breathe feeling.
When I imagine what I saw.
When I imagine what I saw.
Okay, deep breath. So you see how the energies come down with that? So what is it that you imagined that you saw? Can you speak it out loud?
So
Tap boy, tell me.
my cousin Ian was my age.
Okay, just where are you feeling it in your body? Don't speak anymore. What's going on?
Eyes.
I can, even though I've got all this emotion in my eyes,
Even though I've got all this emotion in my eyes.
when I imagine my cousin Ian,
When I imagine my cousin Ian,
who is only 5,
who was only 5,
I accept myself
accept myself
and everything I'm feeling.
and everything I'm feeling.
Even though I feel all of this emotion in my eyes,
Even though I feel all this emotion in my eyes,
when I remember my cousin Ian,
when I remember my cousin Ian,
who was only 5,
who was only 5,
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I saw.
and everything I saw.
even though I remember
even though I remember
seeing my cousin Ian,
seeing my cousin Ian,
only 5,
only 5,
and my eyes remember it,
my eyes remember it,
all of the emotion in my eyes.
all the emotion in my eyes.
I choose to process and release it now,
I choose to process and release it now,
all the way back to my 5-year-old eyes.
all the way back to my 5-year-old eyes.
All the emotion in my eyes.
All the emotion in my eyes.
My cousin Ian,
My cousin Ian,
he was my age,
he was my age,
he was only 5.
he was only 5.
My cousin Ian,
My cousin Ian,
everything I saw,
everything I saw,
all the emotion in my eyes,
all the emotion in my eyes,
processing and releasing the emotion in my eyes,
releasing the emotion in my eyes,
everything my 5-year-old eyes remember,
everything my 5-year-old eyes remember,
everything my 5-year-old eyes saw.
everything my 5-year-old eyes saw.
My cousin Ian,
My cousin Ian,
same age as me,
same age as me,
5-year-old Ian,
5-year-old Ian,
everything I saw,
everything I saw,
the memory in my eyes,
the memory in my eyes,
the emotion in my eyes,
the emotion in my eyes,
processing and releasing it,
processing and releasing it,
all the way back to its origin,
all the way back to its origin,
all the way back to my 5-year-old eyes,
all the way back to my 5-year-old eyes,
releasing all of the emotion.
releasing all the emotion.
Deep breath, you can see that it's come down. So see, I don't get more information. As soon as there's emotion, we get straight tapping, right? Because you're there in it. Yeah?
Yeah,
All right. So let's go back to the beginning.
yeah,
You're at school.
yeah,
The bell goes.
yeah,
Everyone's coming out to go home. Mum's picking up the 4 of you.
yeah,
And then there's something with you see your cousin Ian who's 5.
yeah.
What happens next?
Rode his bike out from the Milktank. Hit him.
Where's the emotion?
My throat.
Even though I've got all of this emotion, see, I'm not even getting the suds, it's just there. Even though I've got all this emotion
Even though I've got all this emotion,
that's trapped in my throat,
it's trapped in my throat.
when I remember seeing
When I remember seeing
Ian ride his bike
Ian ride his bike
in front of the milk tanker
in front of the Milktank,
and he was hit,
he was hit.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all of the emotion,
and all the emotion,
and I choose to process and release it.
and I choose to process and release it.
Even though I remember
Even though I remember
seeing my cousin Ian
seeing my cousin Ian
ride his bike in front of the milk tanker
ride his bike in front of the Milktank,
and he was hit,
and he was hit.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all my body's reactions,
and all my body's reactions,
especially my eyes,
especially my eyes,
and I choose to process and release it.
and I choose to process and release it.
Did you say your eyes or was it in your throat?
That's right.
Even though
Even though
I've got this feeling in my throat
I've got this feeling in my throat
when my eyes saw
when my eyes saw
my cousin Ian
my cousin Ian
ride his bike
ride his bike
in front of the milk tank
in front of the Milktank,
and he was hit.
and he was hit.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my eyes
and my eyes
and how my throat's held on to this,
and how my throat's held on to it,
and I choose to process
and
and
I choose
release
to process and release it.
it. All this emotion in my throat,
All this emotion in my throat,
all this emotion in my throat.
all this emotion in my throat.
When I saw my cousin Ian,
When I saw my cousin Ian,
who was only 5,
he was only 5,
ride his bike
ride his bike
out onto the road
out onto the road
in front of the milk
in
tanker,
front of the Milktank,
seeing the milk tanker hit him,
seeing the Milktank hit him.
all the emotion in my throat,
All the emotion in my throat,
all the emotion in my throat,
all the emotion in my throat.
thanking my throat for holding on to it,
Thanking my throat for holding on to it.
all the emotion from what I saw,
All the emotion from what I saw,
all the emotion from what I heard.
all the emotion from what I heard.
Do you remember hearing? Imagine hearing?
Yeah.
From what I saw,
From what I saw,
what I imagine hearing,
from what I imagine hearing.
all the emotion in my throat,
All the emotion in my throat,
all the emotion in my throat,
all the emotion in my throat.
everything I saw,
Everything I saw,
everything I heard.
everything I heard.
When that milk tanker hit Ian,
When the Milktank hit Ian,
all the emotion in my throat,
all the emotion in my throat.
processing and releasing,
Processing and releasing.
what my eyes saw,
What my eyes saw,
what my ears heard,
what my ears heard.
when I heard the bang,
When I heard the bang.
when I saw the milk tanker hit him,
When I saw the Milktank hit him.
all the emotion in my throat,
All the emotion in my throat.
in my whole body.
In my whole body.
I choose to process and release it.
I choose to process and release it.
All the way back to my 5-year-old son.
All the way back to my 5-year-old self.
All the way back to seeing everyone else's reactions.
All the way back to seeing everyone else's reaction.
Processing and releasing the shock.
Processing and releasing the shock.
So see, I'm imagining what else you saw, but that landed for you.
Yeah.
So how's your body now when you remember that moment, or imagine remembering that moment?
No, that's all right.
Okay, so going back to the neutral place.
Yeah.
The bell's rung, everyone's coming out of school, mum's picking up you 4 kids,
Yeah.
and you see your cousin Ian, 5 years old, riding his bike out in front of the milk tanker. The milk tanker hits him. You see it, you hear it. What happens next?
Mum took us all home.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember anything until the next day when Dad came to pick us up from school.
Mm-hmm.
And he came and picked up. So 3 families at school had less than 30 kids, and 3 families, like there's my family, and 2 sets of cousins. We nearly were the school. So he came to pick up us 4 kids, plus 2 cousins from the other family who went to school with us.
Yep, so Dad came to pick you
Dad
up.
came to pick us up.
And where's the emotion? What's going on? Where is it in your body?
It's back in my eyes again.
Is it what you saw?
No.
Or what you heard?
No, it's shame.
Mm-hmm. Even though I've got all this shame in my eyes,
Even though I've got all this shame in my eyes,
I accept myself
I accept myself,
and my body
my body.
when I remember Dad coming to pick us all up
When I remember Dad coming to pick us all up
the next day.
next day.
Even though I've got all this shame in my eyes,
Even though I've got all this shame in my eyes,
when I remember Dad coming to pick us all up,
when I remember Dad coming to pick us all up,
and I feel it in my eyes,
and I feel it in my eyes,
I accept myself
I accept myself
deeply and completely.
deeply and completely.
Even though the next day Dad came to pick us all up,
Even though the next day Dad came to pick us all up,
and I've got this shame in my eyes,
and I've got this shame in my eyes,
I accept myself
I accept myself
and my body,
and my body,
and I choose to process and release it.
and I choose to process and release it.
All the shame in my eyes,
All the shame in my eyes,
Dad picking us all up,
Dad picking us all up,
us 4 kids and 2 of my cousins,
us 4 kids and 2 of my cousins,
Ian's family,
Ian's family,
all the shame,
all the shame.
I remember it in my eyes,
I remember it in my eyes,
all the shame,
all the shame.
I remember it in my eyes.
I remember it in my eyes.
I thank my eyes for holding on to it to protect me,
I thank my eyes for holding on to it to protect me.
but it's time to process and release
So
it,
it's time to process and release it,
as it no longer serves me,
because it no longer serves me,
and I want to let it go.
and I want to let it go.
Releasing the shame
Releasing the shame
out of my eyes,
out of my eyes,
all the way back to that day
all the way back to that day
when Dad picked us all up.
when Dad picked us all up.
Okay, so what's coming up for you now? Or can you explain that moment?
Yeah. So Dad came and he parked in a different spot. So he parked, like usually you go out from the school and over an irrigation channel, like over a raised bit. And Dad had driven the car in, which was really odd. I don't think he'd ever done that. And he picked us all up and got us in the car, and he said, Deb and Murray are coming with us, my cousins. And then he said, I've come to pick you up and take you all home because Murray died.
Murray?
So Murray was the cousin in the car, and I laughed and I said, Murray's not dead, Murray's beside me.
Right.
So I laughed. That's the shame.
Even though I've got all this shame, because I laughed, because Dad said the wrong word, and it was funny, but I have this shame because Ian died. I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I have all this shame in my body, because Dad came to pick us all up, because Ian died, but he said Murray, and I thought it was funny. I accept myself and all the shame. Even though Dad came to pick us up and said Murray died, but Murray was in the car with us, and I thought it was funny. I accept myself and all this shame, and I choose to process and release it. I was only 5.
I was only 5.
I laughed because Dad said the wrong thing.
I laughed because Dad said the wrong thing.
And my adult brain thinks I should be shameful
My adult brain thinks I should be shameful
because my cousin Ian died.
because my cousin Ian died.
Dad said the wrong thing.
Dad said the wrong thing.
And it was funny because he said the wrong thing.
And it was funny because he said the wrong thing.
He said because Murray died.
Because Murray died.
And Murray was in the car with us.
And Murray was in the car with us.
It was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny.
I laughed.
I laughed.
But part of me felt ashamed.
Part of me felt ashamed.
All this shame that I'd held on to
All this shame that I've held on to
in my eyes.
in my eyes.
Because it was sad.
Because I was sad.
Because Ian died.
Because Ian died.
Processing and releasing all the shame.
Processing and releasing all the shame.
Processing and releasing all the shame because I laughed.
Processing and releasing all the shame because I laughed.
When I heard Dad say,
When I heard Dad say,
Murray died.
Murray died.
When I heard Dad say, Murray died.
When I heard Dad say, Murray died.
And I said, Murray's in the car with me, and I laughed.
Murray's in the car with me and I laughed.
All the shame I felt
All the shame I felt
because Ian died.
because Ian died.
I should have been sad and I was laughing.
I should have been sad and I was laughing.
All the shame.
All the shame.
I laughed because Dad said, Murray died.
I laughed because Dad said, like, Murray died.
And Murray was in the car with us.
And Murray was in the car with us.
All my shame.
All my shame.
All my shame.
All my shame.
Processing and releasing my shame.
Processing and releasing my shame.
I was 5.
I was 5.
I didn't think, I just laughed.
I didn't think, I just laughed.
5-year-olds don't have that wisdom of thinking.
5-year-olds don't have that wisdom of thinking.
Dad said the wrong thing and I laughed.
Dad said the wrong thing and I laughed.
But part of me was sad
Part of me was sad
because Ian died.
because Ian died.
And part of me was ashamed that I laughed
And part of me was ashamed that I laughed
because it was really sad.
because it was really sad.
Ian died.
Ian died.
And Dad said Murray died.
And Dad said Murray died.
He said the wrong thing and it made me laugh.
He said the wrong thing and it made me laugh.
I laughed because Dad said the wrong thing,
I laughed because Dad said the wrong thing,
not because Ian died.
not because Ian died.
All that shame.
All that shame.
I was only 5.
I was only 5.
I was just reacting,
I was just reacting,
releasing the shame
releasing the shame
out of my eyes,
out of my eyes,
out of my whole body.
out of my whole body.
I was only 5,
I was only 5.
laughing at something Dad said that was wrong.
Laughing at something Dad said that was wrong.
Processing and releasing
Processing and releasing
all my shame.
all my shame.
When Dad said Murray died,
When Dad said Murray died.
how does that feel?
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know there was shame there.
Interesting how it just pops up in the moment of it,
Yeah.
of what the body brings out. But see how I'm not getting too many details. As soon as there's emotion, what is it, where is it in the body, bang, straight into it. Sometimes it's not even what is it out of 10 because they're already focused in on the memory. You want to start processing it.
Can I ask,
And the emotion.
did you remember the incident of you just reacting with laughter when your dad said Murray died? Do you remember that until now? Oh, you did.
Do you remember that?
did.
I remembered that bit.
I didn't remember witnessing.
No.
No.
And that's why when people don't remember, you can say imagining what you remember because that's when the subconscious will find it.
Yeah. So from the bell ringing and us walking out, then I remember Dad picking us up. But I never remember the next day. I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, Mum probably got us out of there before ambulances came, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So going back to the neutral place.
Yep.
So instead of me telling the story, I want you to tell the story.
Alright, so the bell went, and then we went up and over the bridge like we always did, and out. And I would have been walking out with Murray, because Murray and Ian and I were all the same age, so we were good mates. We nearly were the prep class or the grade 1 class. And then heading towards the car, and then we went home. But Murray had been hit by the tanker, but still I don't remember. Sounds as bad as Dad. Ian got hit by the tanker. I don't really remember seeing any of what went on. And then we were at home, and then the next day, Dad coming into the school and getting us all, driving the car in, which was odd, and then saying that Murray had died when it was really Ian and Murray was in the car with us.
Anything left? Any shame? Any?
No, not with that.
Okay, awesome. So that's that part of the movie done. Well done. Was that how you would expected it to be? Was it surprising that the emotion came up?
Yeah, because I talk about that, and the school handled it in a really lovely way. Like the teachers, they did a lot of work with us, and the school went to the funeral, even though a lot of us were cousins. There was sort of, there's a lot of work done. I feel like they did it really well, and it's,
So what did your 5-year-old self make all of that mean? Hard to think about at the moment. Just keep pondering that in the future, because, you know, in a traumatic event and time, that age person makes it mean something about you and the world. And then you might see how it's unfolded as a belief throughout your whole life. So keep that in mind. Might be something else you can tap on later, but that's basically how you do the movie technique. Yep, you can tell the story. Okay, well done. Thanks.